All right, today we're going to go on a little bit of a treasure hunt. But instead of some old, dusty map, we're going to be using some really simple text you might not even look at twice. And the treasure we're hunting for? Well, it's those powerful writing techniques that are basically hiding in plain sight. So, let's get into it. Oh, does this look familiar? Yeah, that blinking cursor on a totally blank page. It can feel like the loneliest spot in the entire world. We have all been there, just searching for the right words, the right tone, anything at all to just get started. But what if I told you the secret to breaking through that writer's block isn't buried in some dense literary classic? What if it's hiding in something as simple as a practice English test? Seriously. Today, we're going to find the keys to truly great writing in some of the most unexpected places you can imagine. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by finding that tool of authority. Then, we'll uncover the secrets to telling a really compelling personal story and how to explain a new world. And finally, we're going to gather up all these amazing discoveries into your very own writer's toolkit. First up, writing with authority. For this, we are diving into a text about something called the Long Reef Ocean Project. I want you to pay super close attention to how the writer builds credibility and precision, just word by word. So what does this number mean to you? 100. By itself, it doesn't mean much, right? But in writing, a specific number like this can be an incredibly powerful anchor for your reader. And there it is. The text reveals this is a 100-year study. See how that specific number instantly gives the project so much weight and seriousness? It's not just a long study. It's precise, it's super ambitious, and it makes the entire piece way more convincing. Specificity. That's how you build authority. Now let's look at another tool for building that authority, using precise language. The writer uses the term digital archive. They could have said something generic, like an online collection of files. But by using a technical term, they establish themselves as an expert. It's a subtle way of telling the reader, hey, I know this subject inside and out. And this is just brilliant. This is how you raise the stakes. This sentence does so much more than just state a fact. It creates a real sense of urgency. All of a sudden, this isn't just some science project, it's a race against time. And that emotional hook, that's what makes the reader care and care deeply about what happens next. Okay, so we've seen how to build authority with facts and precision. Now, let's switch gears and explore a totally different kind of power in writing, the power of a personal story. Our next source introduces us to 3 food artisans, and believe me, it is a masterclass in finding and using your authentic voice. So before we really get into the language, let's meet our subjects. We've got Lila, an engineer who became a bread maker. There's Sarah, who left her job at a travel agency to mix spices, and Helena, who's a newcomer to making cheese. This slide gives us a quick snapshot, but the real magic is in how their stories are told. Okay, this is where you can see how a unique voice really shines through, even when people are expressing pretty similar ideas. Leela says her heart wasn't in it. It's a gentle, kind of personal admission. Sarah, on the other hand, is way more direct. Her job paid well, but didn't make me happy. They both get across the idea of dissatisfaction, right? But their word choices reveal 2 completely distinct personalities. That difference, that's the essence of a writer's voice. And here's how you make a personal story feel universal. So powerful. Helena connects her passion for making cheese to a much bigger idea, supporting the environment. A technique like this elevates a simple personal story into something with real impact, something that resonates with a whole lot of readers. All right, for our final case study, we're climbing trees. This text is all about how to explain a new and maybe complex activity to a complete beginner. The goal here is just absolute clarity and a whole lot of encouragement. So the writer breaks the whole process down into these simple, actionable steps. Choose the right trees, check your gear, focus your mind, bring a friend. Notice how direct and clear that is? It's so empowering for the reader because it makes a kind of daunting activity feel totally achievable. A great explanation also presents different perspectives. Here, the writer compares climbing alone, which helps you focus, with climbing with friends, which is just more fun. By showing both options, the writer gives a more complete and honest picture, and it lets the reader choose their own adventure. Let's look at the power of descriptive language. The writer doesn't just say, you have to focus. No, they use this strong, evocative phrase, complete concentration. It helps you feel the intensity of night climbing. This kind of vivid language is what really immerses your reader in the experience. All right, we have analyzed 3 completely different texts, and we have uncovered some fantastic techniques. So now, let's pull it all together into your writer's toolkit. These are the key takeaways you can start using in your own writing, like today. So to write with authority and clarity, the key is really to build trust and make things easy for your reader. Anchor your claims with specific numbers. Use precise terminology to show that you know your stuff. Break down complex stuff into simple, actionable steps. And finally, create a sense of urgency to make your reader care. And for telling a really powerful personal story, it all comes down to connection. Let your unique personality shine through in your word choices. Be open about what motivates you, what you're passionate about. You want to elevate your story by connecting it to a bigger, universal idea. And use strong descriptive language to just transport your reader right into your world. Okay, the final step is to actually put these tools into practice. So here's a challenge taken straight from our source material. How would you describe a memorable cultural festival you went to? Think about it. Could you use a specific number, a powerful personal detail, a description that creates a real sense of urgency? That blank page is waiting. But now you have the tools to fill it.